Hey. Yes, hello everyone, welcome in. Today, as you can see by the intro, I'm going to be upgrading my PC that I use daily from a 9th gen to 11th gen, and basically I'm just going to be making two simple changes. I say simple, but we'll actually strip the old PC down, but basically all I'm changing is the motherboard and the CPU. Okay. Yes, hello everyone, welcome in. Today, as you can see by the intro, I'm going to be upgrading my... So, sorry about that, that was a feedback from the speakers, because I was just monitoring the challenges to make sure everything's going through. So, I can hear a lot of you thinking out there saying, well, we actually, on Intel, we're on the 12th gen. Well, that is quite correct, but because, so like, I have to maintain my customers' data, and also because I'm in business, yeah, I need to keep my PC up and running. So the only reason why I'm not jumping straight to a 12th gen is simply because I still think DDR5 RAM is still too expensive, and it also still has some issues on certain platforms. So not all configurations are the same. And before you all start saying yes, but you can get 12th gen motherboards. With your CPU, and you can also run your DDR4 RAM, well, you're actually losing out then, aren't you? It seems pointless, because then you actually limited the system to the frequency, the capability of DDR4 RAM. The idea of 12th gen is to go to DDR5 RAM, where you get those enhanced benefit, and it seems pointless for me buying a motherboard which is 12th gen but can only handle DDR4 RAM. If I want to go for one that can handle both DDR4 and DDR5, then it gets more expensive, and to me that's not viable. It's unnecessary. So by going to 11th gen, I'm basically in line with most 12th gen systems, and for what I'm doing anyway, it's quite adequate. I'm not a massive gamer as such. The most demanding game I play is probably Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane. But I sort of like do that as a hobby, as myself. It's not every day. I don't make a living out of it. I'm not a streamer like XP11 or Blue that do it on a daily basis, because that's how they sort of like make the living or enhance the living. I don't like that. I just do that recreationally. So I might jump on it this week, and I might jump on it again for a couple of months or whatever. So what I'm going to now is quite adequate for me. So at the moment, I can see you looking at the screen. So there you are. This is what I'm going from. So as you can see, at the moment I've got my 9th gen. It's a Gigabyte HD H370 HD3 motherboard with an Intel iCore 9900K, and as you can see, it requires discrete graphics. This CPU, it's an 8-core 16-thread processor, and I'm going to the 10th thread. And before you say, well, you're going down as you'll notice, the Intel core is an i7. Before you say, well, you're actually going down from an i9. You're going down to an i7 from an i9. Well, no, because that i7 in the 12th gen is actually the same processor. It's an 8-core 16-thread, so it's actually the same processor, but slightly faster. Yeah, it clocks up to 5.1 gigahertz at max speed, but that's only on like 2 threads, 0 and 1 thread. You might get the max speed. It normally chugs along at about 4.6, 4.7, all of the cores. And then the motherboard I'm going to is an MSI B560 A Pro. That motherboard only has two memory slots as opposed to 4, but I find that I don't actually need 64 gigabytes of memory on my daily. 32 is quite adequate, even though I play games on it. The 32 is quite adequate because that's the sort of like currently the best configuration for when running games to get the maximum out of it. I do have XMP on and all the rest of it. But anyway, what I'm going to do, as I say, I'm going to upgrade. I'll also be upgrading my graphics card from a 3060 to a 3070. I finally got my hands on one. So with that, let's get you in picture, because what I'm going to do now is go. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, guy, is is bring my old daily over. I've already been taking off all the applications and programs that I don't need on it. Well, that I do need, but I move across because I'm actually going to reformat the disk, and I'm going to make it a completely clean install of Windows. You all going to say, well, you could clone it, keep all these settings and everything. Yeah, I could do, but I actually want. I actually prefer to do an actually totally clean install. So I'll totally clean the disk, clean install. Let me just bring this camera up a bit so you can see. I do actually have that's the wrong cam. There we go. So here it is. So let's get started. Let's get in. Stop me waffling, and let's get moving. Yeah. So first of all, take the back panel off. Now, hopefully, keeping the same power supply. It's a 750. Power supply is quite new. So I'm just going to. I need a Allen key, and I've got a couple lying around. Should have got this out before. I do apologise. I was too busy doing other things. Actually, don't need an Allen key. A flathead screwdriver will do. Let me just get a lid to put my screws in, or a container to put my screws in. Should just get a container there, just to put my screws in. And bang. Sorry about that. There we go. So I'll get you on this one a bit closer. See what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just going to undo my glass panel. This is glass, not acrylic. If you remember, or if you've seen my previous episode where I actually upgraded this case and my streaming case, the PC that I'm streaming from, you can hear me tapping on there. That's my other one. I did upgrade the cases because I don't like acrylic panels. Acrylic tends to scratch and look horrible. Glass is much easier to clean. I've got no kids actually running around here. These are sat on top of my desktop, so there's limited chance of me sort of like kicking it if it was underneath my desk. Got a runaway screw there. Limited chance of me kicking it because it's not below my desk. Both my PCs sit on the desk, one at either end. So my streaming's up here and my daily normally lives down to the left. Okay, so let's get this glass panel off. Let's put that somewhere so we won't break it. Okay, so that's both panel off. A little bit dusty. Didn't do a dust off. So we've got to take out this graphic card, which is an MSI 2060. And it's been replaced with a GeForce 3060. Okay, so let's take that off. I'm now going to take this off the turntable. I'm going to lay this flat because what I want to do now is actually, in fact, I'll get rid of the Lady Susan. Don't need that now. This is an anti-static mat. It's not a mouse mat. It's a proper anti-static mat. I only have anti-static mats on my desk. These are mouse mats here. These little ones. That's mouse mat. PC mic. Tech support. That's one. And then there's also that one as well. PC mic, tech support. So if you want a mouse mat. Okay. Let us Okay, and then I just need to get hold of the, there we go, that's that unclicked, or it was. There we go. Okay, so that's my MSI card out. Yeah, the 2060 MSI GeForce RTX 2060. That's going to be replaced by, as I say, a 3060. Right, now, as I said before, I've got 64 gigs of RAM in here. Now when I bought them, I bought two sets of two sets of 32, 16 a stick, and inserted them in the pairs in the slots for dual channel. So first thing I want to do is under my cooler, and through that I'll take off my fan first on my fan connector. Now I'll blow these out before I actually put them on. I've got my duster close by. That's not a problem. Now if anyone's watching this and they've got any sound issues, tell me, but you shouldn't do, because I've actually got an independent wireless sound mic hooked up. Yeah, I've actually got the receiver, that's what's bulging underneath my shirt here. So it's a wireless one, so I don't have that issue where I'm getting double sound issue, because I've got two cameras set up on the microphone. I've actually disabled the microphones now in my webcam. The other video camera that I'm using, hopefully I've turned off the microphone. There should be no microphones in it, so you should only be getting one set of sound. Okay, so I'm now going to remove this cooler, and I probably will reuse this for some other projects, because it will meet the standard of 12th gen, because like I say, it's not a sloppy processor. This is an i9 1900KF. So if anybody is interested in buying it, you can do. Approach me. But we're not talking no silly prices, so don't go with something like about 50 quid or 60 quid. You know, we're not going to be silly now. We're talking proper sale. So as I say, it is 8-core 16-thread processor, but it is 9th gen, and I'm going up to the same standard in the 11th gen on an i7. So I'm just cleaning off the thermal compound, because I don't want no it's horrible stuff to clean off if you get it everywhere. So I'm just cleaning it up so I can set it aside, so in case it does decide it wants to fall over anything, it won't mess up anything. So I'm just cleaning up the thermal paste off the IHS on the CPU, the internal heat spreader. That's the plate that you see. That's got the information of what your processor is. That's called an IHS, internal heat spreader. That's where you put your thermal compound on. So I'm just cleaning that up, simply because I need to handle the chip later on to get it out of the socket. I still do have the clamshell that the chip go in, so I'll be putting it in that, but I won't be taking that out until I'm ready to put it in the clamshell. I'll leave it in the socket, which will help protect the socket, also protect the chip, but I just want to clean it up so that in case I'm moving around in here, if my hand should touch the IHS, there'll be no thermal compound getting on my hands and spraying everywhere, because this thermal compound, if it gets on your hand, it's a pain to clean up. So by doing this now before I actually take it out, it just makes the job a little bit easier. This is just a bit of the housekeeping you have to do. It's a bit of the stuff you have to do as a tech. Okay, so I'm now ready to start. So I'm now ready. Let's get you a bit, if I can get you in a bit more. I'm now ready to start disconnecting all my front umbilical connectors, audio connectors, USB front port connectors, motherboard 24-pin ATX, USB 3 connectors, the connector for the CPU power connectors. So I'm just ready to start doing them, so I'm going to do that now. But before I do that, I'm going to take out this Elgato capture card. It has to come out anyway. This won't be going back in here because this board hasn't got, the new board doesn't have enough slots. Well, I don't think it has. I'll have a look. We'll see. And I'll also take out my USB. And hopefully, okay, so now let's disconnect some power plugs. Let's connect some connectors so we can crack on. Just need a bit of slack. It's just a bit, oh, there we go, got it. It's always a bit tight, that connector, but it has to be tight to make sure it doesn't cause a short. Now, one thing I didn't check, which I should have checked, is that the other board had enough connectors for fan, because I've got a few fans on this, simply because I've got a graphic card which is a 2060 that will generate heat on the load, and because I'm putting a 3060 in now, I want to still utilize all those fans. Okay, so I've got all my connectors, I do believe, unconnected, unclipped, so I'm just going around double checking, and then we'll start undoing the screws. So I'll use my Mugen 5. It's a good screwdriver, this. It comes in for more than one, it has more than one purpose. It's not just for your cooler. So I'll just get myself another lid, which I've got somewhere. Here it is. Just so I can keep the mother brew. I'm thinking that's because I'm down for a cup of coffee. I'm just keeping the motherboard screws separate. And before I go any further, what I'm going to do is actually remove 2 sticks of these RAM and put them in the clamshell. I'm not just going to just take out any 2, although I could, it wouldn't make that much difference. I'm going to keep them in the pairs that I bought them in and that they were trained in. So the 2 that you're going back in here are what I purchased them in. When they were purchased, that's how they came, and what they were trained in. So I'm going to take out the 2 out of the black slots, because that was the pair that came, and I actually inserted them as such in those channels as a pair. So there we go. So that makes that now. There we go. So that is now is actually the pair. So when I purchased it, it came in this pair, and then when I put them in, when I inserted them, I actually put them in double data channel, double data mode by inserting them in the correct channel. I didn't just put them in channels side by side. As you can see, a RAM, a missing slot, a RAM, a missing slot. So my other board only uses 2, so I've got that. I'll keep that spare. I'll use that for something else on another project. Put those away. These I'll now take out the board, because like I say, they're not going to be using this board. Right, okay, close those back up. Right, so let's carry on. Got that out of the way. Anything else? I'll take my two M.2s out. Both 970 EVO Plus. The top one's a 2 terabyte, and then I've got another 1 terabyte storage one down below. So we'll now proceed to loosen the screws off first. I'll just make sure I get a few screws off each board. And now we're ready to so I'm putting the motherboard screws in a holder there. I should actually, I've got the box, well the box is nearby, but I've just got the box to put this motherboard back in, and the anti-static bag it came in. Okay. And clip these, but they're still gripping. Amazing how these. That's why you don't pull, because the grip. Okay, so I'll just put. It's all going on anti-static mat. Everything's on anti-static mat here. Okay. I'm just making sure that my camera is actually recording. Okay, now let's close that out there. Yep, so you're up above now, looking down from this camera. So I've got this camera and I've got that camera. Yeah, two different cameras there, you see. That's your above camera, that's the camera down at the side. So try and get as much close up as I can. Trying to improve my camera angle work, because I tend to forget when I go in and I get into the stride. Okay, so we need to pop out this I/O shield, and then we're ready for our new board. But before I do that, what I think I'll do is I'll pop out these M.2 drives. So let me just move that down there a second for you. I'll move these over here so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. So I've got two M.2 drives on this. This is a 2 terabyte. Now there's one. I put that screw back in because I don't want to lose. These screws are fine and tiny. You don't want to lose them. So put that back in. There's a screw here for a wireless LAN card. I've already put the screw into the stand, so it's there. I've got it as soon as I need it. I don't have to go looking for it. And the same again. So basically, instead of putting them in them little tiny bags that they come in and put them back in the box, which they may fall out if the box gets split and the bags fall out, you don't notice. By having them in the standoffs, they're there already. You've got them. You've not got to do anything else apart from open them up, put your drive in and connect it. So now let me get my clamshell. As you can see, everything's nearby. That's an anti-static mat as well. It's not a mouse mat, it's an anti-static mat. Okay, so in my clamshell, put this processor back in, and I also need my lid to cover back, to protect back the socket. Which means I can reuse this board or even sell it. And before I can go any further, I need to remove this. This is a bracket for the Mugen 5. I have to take it off because I need to put it onto the other board. Okay. Let me just get a bit more paper towel here. Okay, so down, away and up, and before I even take that out, there's some thermal paste that's supposed across. I'm going to clean that up just so that I don't get no thermal paste in the socket, because believe it or not, that will cause issues if it gets into the socket onto the pins. It will cause a resistance. You can start getting weird blue screens and random shutdowns simply because the pins aren't making contact, and you think you'll have a faulty board, which you will have in a sense, but not in the sense that you think that the board needs to be exchanged or it needs to be replaced. It's just because you probably got a bit of dirt into the pins, into the socket, and it's fouling the pins. So that's why I'm cleaning it off more now, and then I'll clean it up later off camera. Right, okay. Let me put that. Just wipe that down a bit more. See, I've just gone and got some on the mat. I'll clean that off with some hypersol alcohol later on. Okay, so not brilliant, but not too bad. Better than it was. Okay, so we'll get that into the clamshell. Get it protected straight away. Okay, so that's in its clamshell. I'm trying to see which is the best for the I9. Okay, now okay, that's the cover replace. Seem to have lost the signal of that one there. Is the battery running down already? There we go. Low battery, oh dear. 1 second guys while I replace the battery in this camera. Just got to replace my batteries, lads. A second, just give me 1 second here. Sorry guys, I'm just going to change the battery in the other camera, guys. Sorry, do apologise. I have charged them up, but the battery seems to be running down quick, and unfortunately the way this battery is located, I have to half disassemble the camcorder. See, I've got to take that. I've got to take that off because it won't allow that. It won't allow that to open with it on. Yeah, when it's screwed down, and I can't get the battery because the battery has a safety clip that you have to press to get the battery out. Okay. So I'll get one that's on charge here. The good thing is I've actually got batteries charging while I'm working. Okay, put that in, replace that, and hopefully we get a little bit. We lost a bit. It's a lot longer now. They were just charged, and there's them things seem to run out quick. See, this is what you have to go through. Okay. Hopefully we shouldn't be too bad now. So slide that back in there. Oh. I'm glad I never said this was going to be a 2-minute job. Because I feel like I've already given myself a kiss of death here. Okay. Let's put the cable back in. Power back on. Okay, alright. We're back. Well, you're not lost in the picture because this is the camera I've just changed on. Okay, so now we so now we'll push on. Okay, sorry about the nothing I can do about the battery. They were charged up, but obviously it seems to be draining the battery quicker than I thought. Obviously the capacity of the batteries don't seem to last too long. Okay, so we've now put the chip back in its clamshell. We've now replaced the cover over the socket to protect it, and then this socket will now go back in. This board, I do beg your pardon, will now go back into its anti-static bag. With the IO shield, and then that will go back into the box with the manual and other stuff that I don't use. Let me just quickly. This is the box for that one. Just quickly put that with that. I'll do that so in case I had to sell it, then I've got everything that should be with it, and the SATA cables. So basically now, if I was to sell that, you'd be getting the SATA cable, you get the manual, or you don't need the manual, you'd be getting the disc and the IO shield. So you know you're getting a complete thing, and the board's coming with the socket protected, because you've just seen me put everything. So there you go. So there's your SATA cable, there's the IO shield, there's the board in its anti-static bag with a cover over the socket, the manual and the board. And you won't actually need a manual, you actually need you can refer to the manual for any specification you want to change or whatever, but you won't actually need a disc, because this board has got up to the latest BIOS. There's no more BIOS for this, well, not I'm aware of anyway. I do check regular. So the BIOS is completely up to date with the latest. I know there's no other because I check regular. In fact, I even checked up to last week. No, a couple of weeks ago. There's no more bias for this. Okay, so that's that. I've now taped it up, and that's how it'll stay until I decide to either use it for a project or if I decide to sell it. That CPU will now go in there. This is just the other box. I just keep the spare bits around. So now, so now in business. Now I do have a Gigabyte B560 board, but now I noticed this one didn't have come any heavier board. Okay, this that I don't need, IO shield which I do need. Notice there's no manual with this. I wonder if to stop doing manual. Them I don't need, I don't think yet. M.2 screws which I do need. I always put these in the board, so I need them, so I'll keep them out there. Quick stall instruction. Thank you for choosing MSI. More propaganda rubbish. Quick installation guide. Wow. Okay. Right. Get that out of the way a second. Okay, so let's take a look at this board together. I've left a couple of bags out there. I'll put those back after. So, let's get this out and have a look. So I just realised I'd gone over there and you can't see anything because I've gone to the other side of my desk. Okay, so let's take a look at this board. Okay, so we've got a 2, 4, 8 and a 4 pin. I won't be able to clock in. Oh, it has got 4 RAM slots. No, I think it only showed 2. Well, that's good. And the good thing about this one is that it's actually got a heatsink, which I'm glad about. And is that meant like that, or is that is that bent like that? Oh, different weird kind of screws. I looked at it, I thought it took the screw out the RAM chip. Okay, my 2 terabytes going up here. Okay. Now this So from what I can tell with this, and hold the heat shield down as well. Yeah. Let me just charge this screwdriver up. It is magnetised, but I don't want this dropping off. I'm putting my I say first, I'm putting it in now because I want to. And just out of curiosity, can I just try something? No. Okay, guys, I'm just the this MSI board. They seem to have a different standard as to how they do their M.2. So I am just right. I think that looks about. I'm just lining up and checking before I go. Yes, that's more like it. And then the shield goes on top. That's a shield with the blue. Yep. So I need to flip that over. Yeah, I will take that plastic off in a second. I want to great. I won't tighten that up yet till I do this. Oh, see, alright, okay. Right, let's see how this works. This is a totally different setup. Now you don't need to crank down on this. All this is doing, holding in place, keep the thermal pad on that. So that will keep my top drive cool. And I'll take this plastic off. There we go. Next thing I need, guys, which is one thing I forgot to get out, is the process that I'm going to use. She is the i12. The i12, the 12. What I meant to say was the LGA 1200 socket. So there we go. i7. $11700K, 11th gen. Let's get get that puppy open and installed. So brand new, unopened. We've got a Go Faster sticker stripe. So go on, ask me if I'm going to be using it. Go on, ask me if I'm going to be using it. Right, so we'll just put this cardboard out here. Put this out here. That's open. There's your CPU. And if you think I'm being petty and you're wondering why I'm keeping it, it's just in case it doesn't work. Let's look at those sockets. Now, you should all know what we mean by 1151 and 1200. Socket 1200 is because in that socket there is 1200 pins. Just change the mode of the lighting there. It's a bit softer, not as harsh. Okay, so let's get open and get that inserted. Just yeah, here's the two cutouts. Below pads. It's in save my lid. See there, it tells you on the lid what socket it is, so you can't get it mixed up with the others. Those are 1151, this is a 1200, it's got it marked on the lid. So like I said, this is kept. Let me just show you. Oh, it doesn't say it on this. Oh yes it does, there it is, there you go. So just to show you that you can't get mixed up with your lids, if you look on there, let me just try and LGA 1151. And on that one, it's got 1 2 double X. See there? 1 2 double X. So that's a 1200 socket, and that one there is 1151. See, 11115X. Yeah. So you can't get your two sockets mixed up. They're very similar, but actually the 1200 is slightly narrower. It's slightly narrower, not much, but enough, so it won't fit your socket. Okay. Now, one thing I didn't do when I put that other box away was took the back plate off for the thing. I've just realised I've left it on. I'm about ready to put the cooler bracket on, and I've realised I left the back plate on, because I want to do that before I put the RAM on. So I've got to open up my box again for the motherboard. But saying that, it's not a problem, because I've actually left a couple of sockets out. In fact, so I need to open this up again. Sorry guys, apologies. I was trying to keep it in mind that I would have to so let me just just got to get the back plate off. Take the back plate off. See, there's a back plate there, but I need all these as well, because it's all part of it. This is what happens when you're trying to think of everything at once. Change battery on a camcorder, that goes out. Try and give you a commentary of what I'm doing, although I know you can see what I'm doing and it's fairly straightforward. This is not for those that are initiated and know how to do this. This is for those that don't know how to do this. Okay, so let's start again. So there. I will use a little bit of sellotape on this, I think, just to tie it down. Now, like I said, if any of you out there want to buy this board and the processor, I won't scalp you, but I expect a decent price. I don't want no stupid prices. Okay, what else am I missing out there now? Got the manual, got the disc, I/O shield. Okay, took the back plate off. Okay, that's the I/O shield for that. You reach out to me and we can come to some arrangement. But I'm not accepting no stupid prices. Totally honest with you now. If you're going to come and be stupid, I won't even entertain you. I won't even answer you. So let's keep it civil. Let's keep it realistic. Okay, we're back on track. So now I will be replacing all my memory, so I'm glad about that. Okay, so let's now quite easy to replace this back plate. You've got two screws there and a single screw there. If you look at your back plate, you've got two there, one there. Well, the one thing I love about this Mugen 5 is that it's adaptable. It's not just for an 1151 socket processor. It'll fit 1200 socket processors, because they're very, very similar. He says. You just need to, there we go. You just need to get it started. Then I'll do one in the opposite corner. Then I'll do one in this opposite corner, and then I'll do the fourth one. Now you notice I'm not tightening them all I've done is just get them started. Now that I've got it started, now I'll just go around I'm just going to look around the back, because what I want to make sure is that they're all basically about evenly come through, yeah, which they are. So that's that put back on. There we go. You don't. Right. Now, sorry about the distraction there. Now, while that is, now that I've got that on, these M.2 stop. There's two sets of them. I'm going to put them in the board. One goes in here, and one goes in here. So this can take up to 3 M.2. This can take up to 3 M.2s. So, get my scissors. I'm going to put them in so that they're in the board and I know where they are. So that's the back plate and the stand for the thing on. Okay, next thing we need to do is populate the memory. Now let me see if I can see the silk screen. First, so first is these two. So first, it's that one and that one. Okay, I can live with that. So first it's this one and this one. It's telling you on the board there. It's just there on the board. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to use anything metallic really, but you can see on the silk screen there circle there first, and it's telling you the 2 slots. There's the 4 DIMM slots, and there where you see in the bracket it's saying first, and it's showing you that you use this one and this one. These are 2 that I've opened. So that's how you get your dual channel, yeah? So that and that is one channel, and them 2 there are the other channel. So I thought when I seen the information on this that it was only a dual channel, it only had 2 DIMM slots, but now I found it's got 4, so I can put my other 4 back in. So I will put it back in because I like having 4. So before I go any further, I'm going to put in these M.2 because if I put them in, I know they're in the board. I don't have to worry about them. I don't have to think about them. I know they're already in the board, and I know I've got them to go. Okay, then I'll put the screws in. I'll put the screw one. I actually need to leave that one out because this one, the data drive, has got to go in, got to go back in. That's the screw for that. I will put the screw in it so I know it's there. Put the screw in so I know it's there. Okay. So that's that sorted. And I think now I'm just going to check through it. So I've got system fan there. Oh, I've got 2 systems. Oh, I've got plenty of systems fan. Right, my pump fan, I've got one. My what's it's unfounded. So my CPU fan's up there, so I know where that is. So I've got ARGB fan header there. Okay. Okay. So, ready for the case. Ready to put back in the case. Let me just... And that's why I'm glad I put that back in the case now, because now I don't have to worry about that. If I've lost that header or not. Very intuitive. Very, very intuitive. Not. And then my next project will be my streamer. I've got a V560 board for that again, i7 again. Okay, so now we are ready to let's get installing into a fan. Yes, let's get ready to install into a fan, into a case. So let's just move that onto that mat, move that up there, bring our case back up. So I'm going to be laying this down. Just dusting out the case a bit. And I don't know if I'll be able to so we need our IO shield. Audio to the bottom. Now I'm having a look and a feel. To ensure that no cables are trapped behind the I/O port. And everywhere except for this top corner here. Aha, there we go. Yeah. What I like about this, I've got full USB at the top, HDMI port there, display port. So I don't mind not having the thing now. But we'll see if we can't get it in anyway. Okay, so now I need oh, this one's also got, let me see something. I'm just right. Sorry, right. I know I've not been talking for a while. What I'm doing is I'm just ensuring. I'm just trying to trap. For once, I'm trying to trap something, but in a nice way. I'm just trying to get the cable that goes out to this cable here out the way, so I can slide the board under. Because normally when you're doing this, your cables would be in your case yet. So I do believe I need a standoff for there. Yes. Okay, where are we up to? This is a longer stream than I expected to be, but this is what you find when you... What's happening now is I need 3 extra standoffs because this MSI board, as opposed to the Gigabyte, is requiring 3, and I've got 1. Whoa, whoa, credited, I've got 3. don't need to buy one. I've got one. Okay. Right, so I've just put 3 scram-offs in. Now we'll try again to sit it. Try and keep the cables out of the way while I sit it. I think the cables want to do their own thing. They want to be obstinate. They want to be obstinate and do their own thing, which is not in my. Okay, so now we. time. It's a holiday scene all the time. Okay guys, that's going to be it.